Make sure that we're out there.
April 5,
With
91,
I mean, it makes you straight.
97. So I'm gonna text you that tomorrow and we are gonna find a time. So they have to refer you. Of course, have everything else. Oh, my. You do something every day. You have a nice Recording other agencies, and be like, oh my God, like, I went, oh, is there this, and like,
It's better than it used to be.
Oh, yes, definitely better. There was a time where.
never a dog. You. This kid will never say date, this is wrong. Yes. The TV9, live, no ranking.
Love affair from the road.
There is, no, there is. Oh.
Like your shirt. I got one.
I would not be. You see my movie? All right?
You all right? So, I don't hear.
Good. Yeah. We got it. Dynamite. I'm far up here. I'm far up here. I'm not hopeful.
They didn't hang this exactly, because we all get.
I still. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Me?
All right, good evening, everyone. It's 7:02. I would like 7 o'clock is our start time, so I'm gonna give 4.5 minutes. So that's 7:06 we'll start.
I'm good.
All right, so let me just pull up this agenda, so we're good. We do have a very long agenda. and I'm going to try to get started. I know that we're nowhere near quorum, so I'm good. Good evening, everyone. The time is now, oh, I said 7:06, right? So I'm a little bit early and jumpy. Hold on. Just procedural. Okay.
Right?
So good evening, everyone. The time is now 7:07, a few seconds off from what I originally stated. My name is Roderick Daly. I am the Chair of Community Board 17, and I'm now calling the meeting to order. We'll start with the chairperson's report. Tonight's meeting will be, I can tell you upfront for everybody online, and I'm hoping that we can cut it short to minimize conversations. But tonight's meeting has a very full agenda, so I'm asking everyone to limit yourself, govern yourself. Our timekeeper's not really here. He'll be here a little bit later. But please do keep to the time so that we can move forward. Again, like I always say, you can't complain about the time if you're adding to the time. That doesn't make sense, all right? So that's one. So, one, as you know, we have a Friends of Community Board 17, right? And we, as the Friends of Community Board 17, we cannot have general meetings at the community board because they're not the same entity. So I'm asking any community board member of interest with Friends of Community Board, please reach out to me or to our second vice chair if you have any interest in helping out on the Friends of Community Board 17, which is the not-for-profit wing of our board. And also a meeting notification will go out once we follow up. A meeting notification will go out for anybody who's interested in being part of that. At the bar board meeting, they just want to remind us that there will be a special hearing on November 2nd at 6 o'clock at Borough Hall, 209 Geralman Street, to review a proposal, a public hearing to review a proposal submitted by the Prospect Park Alliance to reconstruct the boathouse. So this was something that was built in the early 1900s, and they are looking to do some level of reconstruction or repair. Want to follow up, this is month number 2. Month number 2 comes month number 3. All board members, all committee members, please note that your attendance to committee and attendance to the board after next month, if you are absent, please note, we have not changed the bylaws yet, and I'm hoping that we can to change it to include the annual year, well, the annual from January to December, and not just the fiscal year, July, well, technically September to June. So please note that if your attendance is spotty to committees and to the board, our first vice chair will be sending you a letter informing you of the fact that you might be brought up, might be removed from a committee, or a letter might be sent into Borough Hall to remove you from the board. So please note those 2 things. Hybrid meetings and speaking. Last month, we had some major issues with the people online. I remind all elected officials that you need, elected official or the representative need to be in the physical space. I did receive 1 phone call today, so I'm going to allow that 1 person in the physical space. When you're online and the speaker's online, we try to monitor it at best, but it's always a problem when you do a hybrid. So if you know that there's an issue that you want to discuss, it is best to come in person in an auditorium and have the conversation, okay? The participatory budgeting process is up on us. Alison Martinez over there will be discussing that in a little bit. And this is basically helping each one of us to get involved. And they call it the people's money, right? So it's not their money, but it's our money, and to be involved. But, so I'm going to wait on item number 8, and I'll come back to that. Next month, all committee chairs will be presenting their action plan for the remainder of the year. What, after discussing in their committees, what they plan to do. I know that some committee members have already discussed with me some of the stuff that they plan to do, but you as a committee, as a community, will be aware of what the committees are doing. It's very important that we understand that the work of the committee drives the board in terms of what we do. And note that you don't have to be a member of the committee to attend a committee meeting. We'd like for you to eventually become a committee member, but if there's an issue, please look at the calendar. Our second vice chair is working the calendar as well to let you know, and our communications chair, both are working on the calendar to ensure that everyone knows what is happening. And committee chairs, please make sure that an email, CC me on the email, and each committee will have a web page. Am I correct? Right? A web page for the committee for information as well that they could click on. Right? I also advise that all committee members will be scheduling events on the nights of their committee. I want to acknowledge Fred Baptiste from CB9. He's the chair of CB9, our neighbor. So turn around and let everybody see who you are. Our next month meeting will be Wednesday, November 15th. I wanted to address, it mainly went out to the executive board, but at this point, if something that goes out to the executive board, I believe that the entire board or community might be aware. As chair of Community Board 17, I am extremely concerned about every issue that affects our board. We're not driven by any one committee. We're driven by all of our committees and all of the actions that are happening at our board. I did not like the email that suggested that as the chair, or we as chair, are looking for political gain. In my 20+ years being on this board, no one on this board, zero, literally zero persons have left from the community board and become an elected official. The last person that did that was Assemblyman Nick Perry in 1992. There have been one other person, Monique Chandler Waterman, who served on this board, who eventually got elected. So no one on this community board has been elected based upon being on this board. So I want to do that. The second thing is, and final thing, is that I've been involved in this community since 1982 at some level. Work, live, professional responsibility to this community. I don't even think that anybody knows me for doing anything other than with Community Board 17 or this area that we live in. So I just want to make sure that some of these dispel some of these things that went out in the email. I am responsible for all of the committees and all of the issues that are happening within our community. And I feel that we need to address them all in a fair manner and give everyone the opportunity to speak and not a one item board. So those emails, that's how I'm going to address it. With that, I want to thank you for listening. Let's bring up our district manager for the district manager report. Oh, I'm sorry. Before she gives her report, for everybody, officially the groundbreaking for the Shirley Chisholm Recreational Center was done on Monday. Some of you have gotten the flyers or the newsletter regarding that. So now expected completion date is 2025. So if you haven't seen that, we can send an email, contact the board, and we can send an email to let you know what had happened and what was discussed with the mayor and everybody else.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That was actually my first update. Good evening, everyone. The Shirley Chisholm Center was actually my first update, and I thank you all for attending tonight's meeting. Wow, we almost have a packed auditorium. Shows that the community is really interested and wants to lend their voices to the issues that we are experiencing here, good and bad, in our community. Update, I'll pick up from where the chairperson left off. Monday, we attended the groundbreaking ceremony of the 141 million Shirley Chisholm Recreational Center in East Flatbush, and that's on Foster Avenue and Nostrand. In attendance, Mayor Eric Adams, Assemblymember Rodney Bishop Hermelin, Councilmember Farah Lewis, Senator Kevin Parker, our public advocate who is joining us tonight, Jemani Williams, Assemblymember Monique Chandler Waterman, and so many more of our community organizations and including our own chairperson, Mr. Roderick Daly, chair of this board, and a number of agency officials and residents who actually work diligently with us to make this happen. And the state of the art, this is really a state-of-the-art facility. It will feature a gymnasium, a walking track, indoor swimming pool, fitness, strength, and cardio rooms, a media lab, and teaching kitchen, and many other amenities. And so we anxiously await the completion and, of course, the opening in about 2 years. Over the past week, I received so many calls from community residents regarding work, construction work done by the Department of Design and Construction. They are actually building some bioswales, Albany Avenue, Linden Boulevard, Lenox Road, Church and Troy, Linden and Lenox, Schenectady Church, Linden, within that vicinity, and a couple of other addresses, 830 Utica Avenue, Church Avenue, and Linden. We have East 43rd, East 42nd. They're in the process of building some bioswales in the area, and this week from October 6th to the 31st, they will be working at various locations from Linden Boulevard to Tilden Avenue. Of course, parking and driveway restrictions are necessary to facilitate the project construction, to install the bioswales. For those of us who are familiar, we know that the bioswales is really to help us absorb some of the water during heavy rainstorm and prevents the flooding of basements. So let us try to work with the city once they're doing the work. I know a few community residents really don't want it, but this is something that has to be done. Residents must receive 24-hour advance notice before construction starts. Additionally, I placed some complaint forms on the back table. Please utilize the forms. Please complete the forms. I need to hear what are some of your issues. I am looking to hold a cabinet meeting soon. Complete those forms, fill it out. Please let me know what's happening. What are some of the things that I could address with our service agency? So I'm also encouraging community residents to join the board committees. I have committee forms, applications in the back. Listen, all meetings are, the committee meetings are now being held virtually. You do not have to leave your home. Just set aside an hour and a half to join in the committee of your choice. Mr. McCabe, we're going to go into the capital and expense budget. I know Mr. McCabe, our newly appointed budget chair, will tell you more about the capital and expense budget process. And we also have some of those forms in the back, so take advantage of it. They're pretty much self-explanatory. It tells you about the projects. The capital projects are items that last at least 5 years and cost at least $35,000. And the expense is funding. Funding is provided directly to the agency to maintain personnel, employee salary, in addition to the purchasing of equipment, tools, and supplies needed for service delivery in our community. So take advantage of those services, the forms, complete them and send them, submit it. You could complete it and hand it back to me tonight, or just stop by the office at 4112 Farragut Road. We are still accepting resumes for the assistant district manager's position. We should close off soon and start the reviewing and interviewing process. Everyone knows that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And for those who've lost a loved one to breast cancer, I also lost a sister a few years ago, and we know our loved ones was so much more than the way they died. And to those, the cancer survivors who are joining us tonight in person and on the Zoom, always remember you're brave than you believe, you're stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you ever imagine. Let's be kind for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle than ours. So let's be kind to one another. That ends my report for tonight. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. And the idiom? Yes. Yes. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. And if not, I'll yield the floor back to the chairperson of the board. And again, thank you all for being here.
All right, thank you. 3 announcements, just real fast. One, when you're coming up to speak, please, questions, 1 minute, not trying to avoid multiple questions. So 1 minute, come up to the mic. And two, I know a number of our elected officials will be coming in, and as stated in the past, we're going to try to move them forward because I know they have different things to do. Lastly, I didn't do it, and thank you, Sharif. Mr. McCabe, can you stand for a second? Dan McCabe, I've just appointed him as our new budget chair. And he got baptism by fire, right? So congratulations to him. Thank you. We're going to bring up our public advocate, Jamani Williams, to come and address us.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Peace and blessing, love and light to you all. Hope everything's all right. I'm actually here with my family, as many can see, and a lot of folks prayed for my family. So I just want to say thank you so much for those who did and knew our deal. But thankfully, my wife was here. India is cancer-free, and my baby girl is 20 months old, and we got my 15-year-old stepdaughter there as well. So thank y'all so much for all those prayers. It's fortuitous that I'm here today as we just passed, as I mentioned, the Shirley Chisholm opening. I was very honored to be there as well. I just want to make sure I talk about it for a second because there's been some, when I hear about it, it's kind of sometimes a little revisionist. So I just want to make sure that we're clear about what happened. And what was interesting is when I got home on my Facebook, 10 years later, it popped up. The actual first meeting, which was here at Community Board 17, talking about the Shirley Chisholm Community Center. And it's just exciting to have been a part of that. We got the first seed money, $500,000 from Mayor Bloomberg. And if you remember, I had some heated conversation with Mayor Bloomberg. So for him to be able to still get the money here through Howard Wolfson was amazing. We also did participatory budgeting, folks may not remember, to get the first initial capital funding for the Shirley Chisholm Community Center. So excited about that. And I always have to mention Kamani Gray was a big part of that as well. He was shot, if you remember, on Church Avenue in a police-involved shooting, and our young people were a little stirred up. And the energy wasn't being as used as constructive as possible. Many of us went out there, including myself, Pastor Monroe from the God Squad. Then we had Senator Waterman then and Councilman Lewis doing their part as well to help bring the community together. And when we were talking to the young people who are involved in violence in general, they were saying, as we told them, like, we shouldn't be on the streets. Let's be somewhere else. And they said, well, where should we go? And we said, that's a good point. We should create some place for you to go. And so we worked on getting that done. And so to be at the groundbreaking now is exciting. Not in the same location that we had, but I'm sure it'll be very, very good for the community. And I will congratulate Councilmember Lewis. One thing that she was able to put there that I just want to just hat tip for, because they told us we wouldn't be able to have a swimming pool. She got the swimming pool in there. So there's a lot of good stuff, and I'm honored to have been a part of it. And it's great to see that it's going to be happening. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. We know it's a stressful time, and I want to make sure that we're always lifting up the humanity of everyone. I've been imploring all of our leaders to do that. I don't think they're doing that. And our moral compass is sometimes going astray. It was right, very right, to make sure we're speaking about the horrific attacks that occurred, I guess, a little over a week ago in Israel, and the people that died there and the hostages that were taken. It was horrid. And then there was some protests that went awry that seemed to be celebratory of them and was right to condemn both of those. But I have not seen the same moral compass for the humanitarian crisis that's going on in Palestine and Gaza. And I'm hoping that our leaders will begin to talk about that, because WHO and the United Nations have described that there's a lot of deaths there. There's a lot of children that are dying there in the dark without food. And so I'm hoping that everyone will lift up everyone's humanity. None of us are the United Nations here. I wish I had a way to solve what's happening there. But in terms of New York City, in terms of New York State, we have
all of our folks to be safe. It's people who do that, humanity of everyone who's as a father, I can imagine what it must feel like to be Israel and what it's like to be Gaza right now. Fathers, those that children want to die. So we can make sure they said that. I'm very happy today that the mayor signed the bill of mine that now requires 60 street for those who are in the valley. We will start with young people, for everyone. The large percentage of people are right now are respected. And we do know that these types of social spaces, choices that they may not have otherwise. The person that's rescued on ADHD, my tremendous wisdom, my ADHD, I was diagnosed very late and it was quite under trouble. So very excited. This council passed.
Excuse me, the audio is muffled. The audio became muffled. We need a clearer hearing for the people that are virtual.
Yeah. Yes, it is muffled.
Also, I'm hoping, whatever my office will do to continue to work with this board, do the executive going in, I think it's important. Everybody knows I'm putting this, so I'm not gonna dig deep into it. Whatever we can do to make sure that happens. We do want to do, more concrete. Yeah, you were done. I was saying we did some conference that good.
Say, a lot. We like to individuals.
This is nonsense.
Yeah, I hear me. Probably haven't played randomness. I want to see a lot of like what they do in the campaign, and you can promise us a lot of things. Everything you campaign, you can promise us. And I'm happy and proud to say that although we can acknowledge in Asian time now. Thank you.
Everybody, the word of the law, President, Tony Minogue, will be spread out the roadway. He's back there.
We cannot hear.
Oh, thank you. Peace and rest another life. Go liberty. Well, they already planned. We have to celebrate. My next one.
One last thing, we're going to push to the line. No, Rick.
That's the name. You see?
And hopefully you guys hopefully you online can hear now a little bit better. All right, just asking if anybody had any questions for the public advocate. Online.
You want me to monitor the chat? From there.
Okay, see none, let me move on. The next item on, Ms. Burlock, can I get a physical agenda, please? Oh, no, disregard, I have it, thank you. Committee reports. We have budget. 3 minutes, 3 minutes for the committee. Dan, that's you. The motion, no, the motion is not made now. Just give a report, like the things that you're going to talk about. And what you need them to do is fill out the form. Good evening, everybody. Kevin King. Yeah, so. Give, Dan, use the mic. Oni. Go ahead, keep going.
But they give themselves, why they give it tomorrow? Why they want, well, yeah, they cannot give themselves.
So go ahead, use that. Sorry?
Gotta use the mic, yeah.
So, good evening, everybody. Seems like I'm here, from the provision of community.
Like on the what?
We get to.
People are not muted. All right, I have to mute everyone.
My privilege to be.
We don't have the setup anymore. We don't have the setup yet. There isn't a phone.
Efficient, budget chair, working with fellow members of all the committees, to push for the appropriate funding, working with the treasurer, for all the needs of the community is paramount, importance to me. You have to continue to work and collaborate to achieve these goals.
Typically have a lot of sharp elbows. I am asking for, instead of the elbows, a helping hand for the initial phase. If everybody on the board is interested in helping in the budget, either a standing member or a new member, I'll be in the back during the meeting and we could talk. I'll also be up later to discuss some matters, but I just wanted to say hello and thank you for this opportunity.
Please.
Hold your
Perfect,
applause.
thank you. You can leave it up, just leave it up there, we use this one. Commerce?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Good. My name is June Prasad, and I am the chair of the Commerce Committee. The Commerce Committee meets on the third Tuesday of every month. Our meeting was last night. We had a representative from Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce was our guest speaker, who discussed how businesses can become members of the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce. Our next event is scheduled is a small business expo on November 18 at 1300 Royal Terrace, located at 1298 Utica Avenue, from 1 to 5 p.m. This event is made up of small vendors selling their products like candles, jewelry, pepper sauce, black egg, cosmetic, etc. We have a free raffle, entertainment, wine tasting. Flyers will be emailed to all board members and committee members. We also have a few in the back. Our next meeting is November 21st. Tonight, we have one liquor license to process. It's a renewal. I think the applicant is here. As you're well aware, cannabis application requests are coming to the board office. We had three applications, two for the same address, which was withdrawn. And one for another address was a no-show at the Commerce meeting. The type of 30-day notice we're receiving are adult use retail dispensary license applications. This process is similar to the liquor license. Just a brief info on cannabis applications. A licensed dispensary will not be approved in the location if it's within 500 feet from a school and 200 feet from a house of worship. The guidelines for one licensed dispensary to another is 1,000 feet to 2,000 feet, depending on the population of the area. The agency that handles the cannabis application is OCM, which is Office of Cannabis Management. Please visit their website, which is cannabis.newyork.gov for more information. This ends my report. Are there any questions? Hearing none. Mr. Chair, would you like me to speak on the move?
Say it again?
On the move?
Yes, please.
My second report is the relocation of CB17 board office. For the past year, we are in communication with DCAS regarding the move to the new location, which is 1107 Rogers Avenue. This is a lengthy process. The chair signed the draft document, which is the scope of work for landlord and tenant. The scope of work is basically the layout of the office with furniture, electrical, what type of materials, etc. This will now wait for final approval from DCAS and other agencies. The next step after the scope of work is approved, if it's approved, is to sign the lease, which can take about another year. I know. Approval was granted by the landlord for us to take all three of our signs to the new location. They also advise us that there is another person interested in the space, so there might be a possibility that we can lose the space. Just giving you that information. This ends my report. Any questions? Hearing none, I will sit down. Thank you very much. Oh, you got to come to the mic, ma'am. Okay. Yep. Sorry. I only follow the rules, so I don't make them. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you. Next, youth and education, followed by land use. Oh, he's not here yet. So followed by parks and beautification. Please line up as soon as the person is done. So you yield your time. All right. I just have a question, the spelling bee. No? Okay, not a problem. I was asking more about the location. Were you able to get a location? Just looking, okay. Parks and beautification, followed by public safety and transportation. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, housing, then public safety.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Berlotte Antoine. I am the chair for the Parks and Beautification Committee. Our last meeting was on October 7, where we had a presentation by the Department of Sanitation on leaf and yard waste mandatory separation. As you all know, the curbside composting is expanding citywide. Therefore, you need to be informed. I only have one copy of the presentation. I will be in the back. If you want to take a copy of it, you are free to do so. The City of Forest Day on October 14 was canceled due to the rain. We will reschedule that, so you will all be invited. Our next meeting will be on November 14 because the election day is on November 7, so we have to push our meeting for November 14. During that meeting, we will have a presentation on the artwork for the conceptual design for the Shirley Chisholm Center. So you are all welcome. Please email CB17 if you want to have the link to come to our meeting that will be on WebEx on November 14 at 7:30. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Parks and Beautification? Seeing none, Housing and Block Association, Public Safety and Transportation, please be ready to present.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pearline Fields, and I am the chair for the Housing and Block Association Committee. Since we've been combined, we've changed the dates that we meet. We no longer meet on Thursdays. We now meet on the first Wednesday of each month. So if you missed this month's meeting, that is why. And we had a chance to discuss some topics coming up because we planned out the almost a full year so that we can have some good meetings of a housing series. And we're working with Mr. McDonald from NHS. And some of the topics that we're going to be discussing through this housing series is going to be estate planning. Estate planning, how to protect your property when construction and renovation is happening next to you, understanding your deed and ways to pass down ownership to your heirs, insurance, homeowners insurance and rental insurance. And there's going to be some things on tenants' rights and some other topics that we're working to discuss. So if you have something that you would like to add to the series, please feel free to email me at cb17housingcommittee@gmail.com. So this way we can put together the series properly and have something for everyone to get to. And also we're going to do the series all the way up leading up to our housing fair, which will happen in the summertime. So that's it. That's all I have for you now. And thank you so much and have a good weekend.
Thank you very much, Chair Fields. We now have, I didn't skip anyone, Public Safety, Transportation, followed by Sanitation. He's not here. Chair Hill is not here, okay. Followed by Social Services, then Personnel.
All right, so good evening to all. Osney Lewis, Chair of Public Safety and Transportation. In terms of public safety, I'll start with that first. Last month, I went to the 67th Precinct Community Council, in which we learned about the great job that was done by the NYPD as well as the 67 Clergy Council and other stakeholders in the community for the Labor Day weekend. There was no murders, which is very good in terms of promoting and pushing the Labor Day weekend. We know it's a 5-day event starting from Thursday night all the way to Tuesday, and they didn't have any murders. They did actually have about 4 weapons arrests with multiple bullets in the cartridge, and that was due to the good policing as well as the safety and the amount of police that was out in terms of that protection. So we want to give credit where credit is due based on that. Going to transportation, one of the most important things that has been brought to my attention and brought to our attention through Brooklyn Level Up in particular and their ongoing push in terms of making the community aware is the Interborough Express. I don't know how many of you know about this Interborough Express, but it's actually going to be a new train line that is going to be between Queens, coming, I believe, from, I think it's somewhere either in Corona, all the way over to roughly Sunset Park in Brooklyn. And that is vital and important because for many people that travel between Queens and Brooklyn or to the Bronx or whatever else, everybody has to pass through Manhattan. So this new Interborough Express has already has its the folks looking over in terms of the land, the layout, what are the different obstacles, and this is something that was discussed maybe over, I would say about 5-6 years ago, and it's now coming to light with that. So we want people to be involved, we want people to be engaged and come to the transportation meeting to find out about this, because what ends up happening a lot of the times, in particularly in our community, there was roughly about three locations in terms of stops, right? And those locations are Utica, and I would say between Foster, Farragut, and Glenwood. There's another location roughly around the Avenue H area, and there's another location, I believe, at Remsen, sorry, and another location that would be actually connected to the Flatbush Junction location with the 2 and the 5 trade. So these are vital in terms of us understanding what this, in terms of how this will affect our communities, especially those on that specific area. So I just want people to know that and be aware of that and be proactive. My meetings are held every 4th Wednesday of the month, except for December, which is the end of the year, holiday time. But otherwise than that, every 4th Wednesday. Thank you.
Question. Hello?
I had it online.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't know if this is a form or not, but what was the talk with the MTA talking about a
Wait,
survey
please state
study?
your name. State your name for the record.
Christopher Channer. Yeah, my question was in reference to the study for the extension of the subway down Utica. It seems that there was a couple $1 million put aside to do that, but there's been no follow-up with what the findings were or if they were doing anything at all or what the study uncovered.
So I believe that might be still in the works, but they're looking more towards the Interborough Express. I don't know if they can because they still have to do a feasibility study as to whether they could actually continue coming down all the way down Utica Avenue in order to get to that area. So I will have to do some research on that to see if there's additional discussion by the MTA about extending that line. But I know the biggest push right now is for the IBX, the Interborough Express.
All right, thank you. If there are any other questions, please just put it in the chat. Or you can, what's your email? Can you tell them your email, please?
So the email is pretty long, CB17, transportation, period, public safety at gmail.com. It's very, very long. I'm sorry about that, but we're going to do some work on that to make it a little bit shorter.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Moving forward, also just for everyone, never mind. I'll let Chair Oni. Chair Oni. Oni.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Montserrat Oni. I am chair of the Social Services Committee. The Social Services It's not? Okay.
Okay, there we go. Good evening. My name is Montserrat Oni. I am Chair of the Social Services and Health Committee. The name changed, sorry. We meet on the fourth Monday of every month on WebEx. And right now we are in the planning stages for our spring health fair. We welcome anyone to come and contribute ideas. We are also looking for ideas to do some online health outreach before the spring, because we know that health is a major issue in our community and we want to make sure that people are getting access to the services that they need. Our next meeting will be next week, Monday, October 23rd at 7:30 p.m. And we will have a representative from One Brooklyn Health to talk about some of the changes that are happening within the hospital system. So we would appreciate your attendance if you're interested in coming. Thank you. The meetings are held online on WebEx. So if you would like to come, you can contact the district office and they will give you the invitation or add you to the distribution list.
Is that it, Chair Oni? Any questions for the chair? All right, hearing none, we're going to move on to the next chair. Chair Graham. Well, actually,
good evening, everyone. I'm Rose Graham, Personnel Committee Chair, and the committee is we still continue the task of replacing the Assistant District Manager. And there is word of a training. So as soon as this training gets underway, we will proceed with the interview process. And we will keep you posted, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.
thank you, Chair Graham. Any question for the chair? Hearing none, Chair Frey.
Something's wrong with the microphone now. Something wrong with the microphone. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kwame Afray, and I chair the Land Use Committee for Community Board 17. Oh, for Community Board 17, sorry. It's been a while. It's a hip hop thing, sorry. For Community Board 17 on Thursday, October 6th, we held our meeting. There was some discussions further speaking about the 3002 business property. The consensus at the meeting is that we're opposed to it. Unfortunately, they won't be here this evening. They'll be here next month to do a presentation, and we'll follow up with that. There was also further conversation on the Vital Brooklyn project. We had a lot of people there voicing their concerns, and, you know, again, we had the normal discussion that we usually have, but fortunately for us tonight, to speak on a letter that was drafted to the city, I have the chair of Community Board 9, Mr. Fred Baptiste. He's going to address the letter that he drafted and just give clarity to the community what their position is as of this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, greetings to Community Board 17. Thanks for allowing me to cross the Clarkson Avenue and address you today. And I just wanted to say that I wanted to come because it's important that we have these conversations, because the issues don't stop at whatever border it is, if it's Clarkson or whatever else. We are affected with the same things. Vital Brooklyn affects CB9 and it affects CB17 as well. So I'm glad that we are having conversations. Thank you very much to the chair for land use in terms of, talking with me. Very briefly, I did want to discuss a letter that was actually published by Community Board 9 with respect to Vital Brooklyn. There is obviously, definitely, a lot of feeling around the project that is coming around. I think from when the conversation started with the project to things have morphed, and I think there have been a lot of quality of life issues that have come around that. And I think just to succinctly state it, we're not comfortable with where the state of where things are right now. So at Brooklyn Community Board 9 last month, we voted to send a letter to the governor saying that we were opposed to this project because we feel that there is more conversations that need to be had with the community directly in terms of addressing some of these issues. If there's project scope change that has happened, making sure that everyone is up to date with that, and also ensuring that if there are services or resources being brought into the communities, that they are sufficient to make sure that all the needs are addressed and that resident needs are addressed. We aren't necessarily saying that, no, we are opposed to the project, but we want to make sure that we're intelligent and we want to make sure that the community needs are being heard and respected and responded to as well. So this is the beginning of a conversation. We are continuing these conversations in CB9. And again, I look forward to working with Chair Daly and with Chair Frey in terms of if there are questions, things we need to work on. And I think this is probably just one area. And we look forward to working with CB17 as a partner and definitely a number of other areas with other committees as well. But thank you again for having me this evening. And I turn the microphone back. Thank you.
Hi. I'm sorry, just let him finish his report first and then you can ask the question. Sure. You finished?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up that we also ended that discussion with, the message is you need to be heard. You need to be present, you need to be active in the meetings, in your committee meetings, so you can educate yourself on what's happening, right? Oftentimes, issues are brought up or emotions are attached to specific things that are happening to you. And when you show up, of course, we're going to listen to you, but if you're not active and you're not there to keep the conversation going, and when it's time to address the issues and it's voiceless, it doesn't have legs. Just wanted to bring that up. So join your committees, mine included. The first Thursday of every month, 7:30. Our meetings are long. It is what it is, but we make sure that we get everything addressed and answered. Mr. Goodrich?
Yeah, Mr. Goodrich. So first of all, I want to say good evening and Mr. Chair and Mr. Chair here sitting up front. I grew up in 11226 and I live in 11203. It's the first time I've been to a community board meeting in person. I'm just really happy to see everybody in person and like most people here of Caribbean descent. But I spent my life in affordable housing. It's my undergraduate and I am a developer of projects across the city and specifically of Vital Brooklyn, Utica Crescent. I am the lead developer and decision maker on that project. And first of all, I want to be clear, we conflate Vital Brooklyn. Mr. Baptiste, I respect you. We've spoken when the project was designated and Vital Brooklyn is multiple projects. It's not a single project. I lead the team that's doing the work at Kingsbrook Jewish. When we were designated, we did 2 community meetings requested by then Assembly Member Diana Richardson, one at what I used to call Lethbridge Junior High School. Oh, no, that's not the name anymore, where I met Mr. Baptiste. And then I did one on the campus of Kingsbrook Jewish that was attended by homeowners in that area. Since that time, whenever anybody has asked me to speak, I come, particularly if it's in my community. I live down on New York Avenue. I bought my house 21 years ago. I'm not running anywhere, but I'm also one of the leading affordable housing developers in the city. And so I always like to talk about affordable housing. And I believe in any relationship, whether it's a personal or business relationship, committee place about this work. And specifically for the folks on East 49th Street, when I was out there meeting a few years ago, I made myself available. I'm making myself available to meet with you. If you want to meet this weekend, I'm happy to come to somebody's home and meet with you. So I'm happy to be here tonight in the presence of 2 really capable chairs. And I want to just be available to my community to talk about my project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goodrich. I
Thank you.
invite you though to the Land Use Committee next month if you're willing.
And I was in the Land Use Committee presenting in March. So I presented to the Land Use.
So you just got an open invitation, come back next month. The Chair Frey would follow up. All right, we need to, again, I'm trying to move fast because I know we have a lot of things in the agenda. I'm going a little bit out of order because I think there's an emergency in the precinct, Lieutenant. So let's, so you can get to it. I know he's not a committee, but so you can go.
It works? Hello? Can everyone hear me? All right, good evening, 6-7 Community Council. It's a pleasure to be here and it's a pleasure to serve this community. My name is Lieutenant Martho. I'm the Special Operations Lieutenant for the 67th Precinct. And to my right is Sergeant Jurena. He's the Public Safety Sergeant of the 6-7 Precinct. I'm just gonna reveal some of the crime stats of the precinct. I'm just going to reveal some of the crime stats of the precinct. We're going in the right direction when it comes to crime at this time. We're 7% down year to date when it comes to crime, 38% down in homicides. We're down 25% in robberies. We're down 7% in burglaries. And we're down 4% in grand larcenies. And we're down 13% in stolen vehicles within the confines of the 6-7 precinct. Unfortunately, 25% were up in rapes and 1% were up in felony assaults, which is something that we're going to be addressing. Current crime trends within the confines of the 6-7 precinct are burglaries. Please be aware of residential burglary patterns where a perpetrator has been known to throw rock through the glass door and steal packages. So please be aware of that. Also, commercial burglary patterns at construction sites. Unfortunately, also, when it comes to auto thefts, we have 17 auto thefts within the 28th day. This is dealing with Kias and Hondas. There's a TikTok challenge. Please be aware of this. There's a TikTok challenge targeting the vulnerabilities of Kia and Honda vehicles within the confines of the 6-7. Please be aware of this if you have that vehicle. When it comes to residential burglaries, here's a few tips. Safeguard your apartments, everyone. Safeguard your apartments to help out. Always use a licensed locksmith. Do not enter or remain with a stranger in an elevator. Use the intercom to buzz people in. If you live on the top floor, make certain that the roof door is closed. Also, check your apartment door and door frame to make sure that's safe and there's no way to gain access through it. Also, I'd like to say, year to date within the 6-7 precinct, within the community, there's been 148 gun arrests year to date. And also, we've taken off 117 guns have been recovered, 117 guns. That's more guns, less guns within this area in the community, which is what we want. Also, year to date, there's 327 total abandoned unregistered vehicles towed by NCOs, by our neighborhood coordinating officers. The next scheduled tow operation will be this week on the 19th, 10/19 to 10/20. We'll be towing these abandoned, unregistered vehicles within your area. Also, I'd like to say also, October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you are in an unhealthy relationship, the NYPD has resources available. Please come down to the 6-7 precinct if you feel you can, if you have these issues or if you can help someone else out. Also, I'd like to say there's youth coordinating programs that we'd like the youth within the confines of the precinct to get involved in. Youth coordinating programs. That would be weightlifting and fitness training every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. to 11 a.m., 9 a.m. to 11. Game night every Sunday, 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And also Explorers, Tuesday and Thursday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Once again, like I said, it's a pleasure to serve the community. You know, anything else, all your questions, you know, we gladly take. But we just want to make sure we can take them, or are we good with time, or we have any issues?
Yeah, you take a couple questions.
The Office of Senator Prasad have a question.
Excuse me?
Office of
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Hi, my name is Alex with Senator Prasad's office. Can you hear me?
Alex from Senator Prasad. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, so I just wanted to know, given the current climate, what's going on in today's events with Israel and the number of demonstrations we're seeing across New York City, has this
Wait, I'm sorry, wait, Alex, are you asking the lieutenant a question or you giving a report?
I'm asking the lieutenant a question.
Okay, it's not coming out clearly. Did you hear what his question was?
I didn't hear the question.
I
didn't
was
hear the question.
I wasn't finished. So given the current climate in today's society, with Israel and Hamas, has there been any issues, any rise in hate crimes in the community or in the district?
At this time, no, but you know, the NYPD is always on an aware alert status. So, you know, we're just being aware, monitoring everything. Anything that you can assist with, please come to the precinct and let us know. At this time, no.
And what is, I believe you guys gave us a notice on what you guys are preparing to do, in case you guys observe these instances. What are you guys preparing for in case these instances are happening in this community, in our community?
Hey, how are you? My name is Sergeant Urena from the 6-7 precinct. In regards to your question, I think. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Better? Yeah, it's loud here, but not up there. Okay, hi. How you doing, everybody? My name is Sergeant Urena from the 6-7 precinct. I believe the question is what kind of provisions are in place just in case something were to happen regarding the Israel-Palestine conflict that's going on right now. You can rest assured that the NYPD as a whole, citywide, has put a bunch of safety measures in place in order to address any sudden uprise of a protest or any type of disorderly behavior that may arise from any type of individual groups trying to have their voices heard in a less than traditional sense. In East Flatbush, we have a whole platoon of cops that are able to respond to any type of uprise, situation, protest at any given time. Everything is well planned and orchestrated and taken care of.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions? Yes, come to the mic. Right here. Right here, right here.
Wait. There you go. That's all good.
State your name for the.
My name is Aaron Roth.
Yeah, the mic, turn it on.
Just a side comment with what you were saying about unregistered vehicles and just idea suggestion. I know, like, I'll just say something on the block near my house, and I'm sure there's other locations that are similar to that. Remsen and Clarkson, there's like this triangle, and next to it, you're not meant to park, but because it's empty, you always get trucks there, and they just sit there for 2 weeks until they're pulled away. So I know it's not really the NYPD's department directly, but maybe it would be an idea if they just add a little bit of sidewalk over there, and the issue would disappear, and we'd have more space.
Okay, no problem. You know, we can just come meet us after, and we can discuss that matter further.
Aaron, I heard that you needed to speak to our new budget chair for a new budget request. No, he's right there. Mr. McCabe, right behind you, right there. You can talk to him. If there are more questions, we need to just move on. Again, I'm just hurrying everybody along. Thank you, Sarge. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Once again, community, it's a pleasure to serve you and this community. Thank you very much.
And tomorrow is?
Yes, just in case everybody or, nobody knows, tomorrow is our community council meeting. So if you have any further questions, any issues, anything that you can bring up to the police department, feel free to come in to 2820 Snyder, that is the police precinct, right upstairs on the second floor, and that will be our community council meeting.
I'm sorry, addressing Halloween, is there anything that needs to be addressed that people need to look at, especially, so there's several things that are happening. One, parents who have adult children in school, we have freshmen coming up, that freshman week, especially when the Hayes and gang members and the initiation week and Halloween. Can you address that with the crowd? What do parents, family, friends need to look for those three components?
Okay, of course. So as always, Halloween coming up, it's a night where, you know, the disorderly people like to come out, have a little bit of fun at other people's expense. I can assure you that our after-school dismissal programs, our after-school dismissal measures for the safety of the students, in and around the areas of school and parks is still going to be in place from 2 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. That is maximum coverage by the police officers out there in front of the schools, around the areas that they like to congregate, around the parks and the social settings of each individual school. As far as Halloween itself, don't be surprised that there's going to be an influx of officers in the neighborhood just so that we can assure that police presence is there and the night goes as smoothly as as smoothly as it can be, as smoothly as it can go.
All right, thank you.
And
You're the last.
As he said, there'll be an influx of officers out there, but also please be aware, we will not be able to do the job without you. So if you see something, please say something, because you're a part of it and we need you. We work with you hand in hand.
Thank you. You're the last question.
Hello, my question is not for the precinct. However, I'm sorry to backtrack. So I'll wait if you want
No,
to.
if it's for, okay, it's not for, just wait. Yes, thank you. No more questions. Anybody who
Okay.
wants to see the lieutenant or the sergeant, please do so in the back. So I can
Thank you,
read-
community. It's a pleasure to serve you. Thank you.
Yes. Assembly member Waterman?
Good night, everyone. Thank you to our chair for his leadership, the board itself, district manager, and all of you here tonight. So I'm New York State Assembly Member Monique Chandler Waterman. I just want to say congratulations on the ribbon cutting for the Shirley Chisholm Community Center. Thank you, leadership from our council member and our Farrah Lewis, also Assembly member, and the foundation. Oh, she just walked in. And the foundation laid by our former, is this Mike? This is better? All right. And I'll be on Forsyth and North Shore. I'm sure the councilman will talk more about that, but we did a lot in this community board and in the community as a whole to make sure we finally get the first community center here. So congratulations, round of applause to all of y'all. We do have a couple of events going on. The New York State Black Legislative Task Force in the Assembly. We have a Black Legislative Task Force, the first time ever in history. We have the Road to Reparations. There was a bill that just was passed with my colleague leading it, Solanges, and it's going to be a commission to talk about reparations. What should we get? What do we need to get? Who's going to be on that in the layout? So on this Friday, October 20th at 6 p.m. at Medgar Evers College, featuring Dr. John Flatto and my colleagues, we will be talking and discussing reparations. So please come out to that event. Every month, I have a Vital Voice meeting called Assembly District 58 Vital Voice monthly community meeting, what I discuss with you, how do you interact with your elected officials, what do I do, and what's going on. And of course, we have the Interborough Express project, and we have one of our leaders from my Quality of Life Task Force, Allison Martinez, with Brooklyn Level Up. She'll be discussing today about what we'll be talking about on this Saturday, October 21st. Doors will open at 1 p.m. and this will be at Winthrop Campus at 905 Winthrop Street. So we'll be talking about the Interborough Express project. We also will be discussing the breast cancer awareness with events. Please get checked. I think I told y'all before, thank you for your prayers. My mother was just diagnosed with breast cancer. Thankfully, we caught at the early stages. She's on her second surgery, about to go to her third, and she is doing well and healthy, but because she caught it early, and men and women. And they also have the BRCA gene. If you know it runs in your family, I did my DNA just to see if that is something that is within me as well. And also domestic violence awareness, we'll be talking about that. Let's get to work. So we have a public safety task force, and we was able to come up with what is the needs of the district, and one of it was workforce development, but we can't have those who is just as involved say, let me just go to work, but then not have mental health, substance use and abuse support as well. So on October 25th, we will have that at East Rockbridge Village Inc. location at 1011 Utica Avenue, and combined with District Attorney Eric Gonzalez. We also tonight, unfortunately, and I'm sure the councilman will talk more about this. We have our one and only Busta Rhymes, Trevor Smith Jr. Way. We wanted to do a street code name and the family asks for it, and hopefully it gets put on the agenda at a later time, but that would not be happening tonight from my understanding. And your assembly member will be doing the 14th annual The Stars of New York Dance. I will be dancing to bring $10,000 to our youth to get a scholarship here in the district. So I'll be dancing for that $10,000. So kids that would not have an opportunity to do dance with the arts will be coming to 70 District 58. So that's November 17th at 7 p.m. at City Tech. Please come and cheer on, and y'all also allowed to vote in that process. Just contact our office if you need any support. I know there's a lot of different things going on. Prayers go out to all that's impacted what's going on overseas. So I am your New York State Assembly member. My office is 903 Utica Avenue between Church and Snyder. Office number is 718-385-3336. You have me until December, and then January to June, you know I go to Albany for half of the week. My team will always be around to support, and just keep me working for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you very, very much. Are there any questions?
And
Okay.
I did say that Allison Martinez will give the report later on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing none, I know that there are two elected officials who need to speak. I'm gonna try to finish up the committee reports, and then Assembly Member Rodney Smith, followed by Council Member Lewis. All right. So let's quickly. Where was last? Postal.
Hello, board members, good evening. Again, I'm here tonight, good news and bad news. As far as I heard, the post office, they've been doing all right, not perfect. But the bad news is the NX on Utica between Foston and Avenue Day, if you go to the post office, you look up in the air, you look up in the ceiling, it has been like that for about 2 months. I walked in there about 2 months ago and I saw the ceiling all wet because there's a leak. I called Mr. Van, something like that, and he said to me, oh, I'm gonna look into that right away. Ms. Fraser, hardworking person, she went there herself, or maybe a month afterwards, and the same thing happened. Again, she did call our Senator, Congresswoman Councilwoman Edith Clark. I'm supposed to get back to her. So hopefully that something will be done, because I am personally tired of coming up here and not having a positive report. So I do hope something will be changed. Thank you.
I thank you. We'll continue to work on that as well for the safety of the constituents. Communications?
Hello, everybody. Just a few quick announcements. Our YouTube channel, can you hear me? Can you hear me online? Can you hear me in the audience? Okay, good. So our YouTube channel is set up, and if you have missed any of our committee meetings, they are online. I will, I guess, put the channel information in chat. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it is on the website. And if you go to any of the committee pages, there is a link taking you to the YouTube channel. So it's going to be easy to access if you go to the website. I just wanted to make a quick correction about something the chair said earlier. Each committee does have a page, but the information on the page is static information. It's not dynamic. It's not changing every month. So just to clarify that. Finally, we're going to be, sorry. Yeah. Our social media access is still an ongoing issue. It was brought to my attention a couple of months ago that the accounts are being used outside of CB17 purview. So we're going to be working to reclaim those accounts because they are the property of the board. I've asked committee chairs to provide summary of reports of what's going on in their respective meetings. That has not happened yet. It's still outstanding.
If we're going to truly engage our community, we need to work together to provide information for them. Everyone needs to chip in, not just at the general meeting. This is a team effort, so I will need all hands on deck. I will need those summaries by the end of your meeting week. I would really appreciate it so that we could put together a newsletter to keep our community informed so that we are no longer a reactive community, that we become a proactive community. So ends my report. Does anyone have any questions? Okay.
Bylaws, then rezoning.
Rezoning, I yield my time.
Say it again?
Rezoning, I yield my time.
Okay, bylaws.
Bylaws, good evening, Jail James. The Bylaws Committee met earlier this month, and there was several issues that we brought to the table in terms of amending the bylaws. The secretary's duties need to be amended because we have a different process right now, and also the way the minutes are taken as well. One of the key issues is with regard to voting, so that needs to be clarified. What does mean, when you abstain, what does that mean? The bylaws will clarify because there has been confusion over the years. In addition to that, there was an issue about excused absences. So the Bylaws Committee will also address that to provide clarification to the members. In addition to that, there was discussion about amending Article 2, which deals with the rotation of board members. When we changed the tenure of the officers, we did not correct the fact that the officers can only serve for 4 years, so that needs to be addressed as well. The issue of qualification of officers also came up, that if someone is going to be an officer of the board, that they need to live in the district, that way they have a vested interest. So that's also being considered, as well the way that the appointment of chairpersons of the board of the committees take place. Currently, the chairperson is the only one who does that. So under consideration is whether or not it should be collectively done by the officers. So that way that there is more input into how the chairs of the committees are selected versus one person making the assignment. Thank you.
I'm sorry, did bylaws, Brooklyn Cap, then rezoning yield the time, and then followed by Assembly Member Rodney Spichat, followed by Councilmember Lewis.
Good night, everyone. My name is Janice Reed, and I represent CB17 at the Brookdale CAP. Just an update regarding announcement that I made last month. We have the CAP fundraiser that was scheduled for tomorrow, Thursday, October 19th at Glen Terrace has been canceled. The plan is to offer again in 2024. So I just want to thank the CB17 execs who expressed an interest in attending. Thank you.
You're welcome. One make sure any committee chair walked in after reports that did not give a report. Any committee chair? Seeing none. Assembly Member Rodney Spichat Hermelin, you have the floor.
Yes. Hi, everyone. It's so great to see everyone. To the chair, to the board, district manager, and all the members, electeds, and guests, and community members, good evening. My name is Assembly Member Rodney Spichat Hermelin, and thank you for allowing me to speak very briefly. Want to reiterate what Assembly Member Monique Chandler Waterman mentioned about the groundbreaking. I want to say congratulations to the whole community. For many of you who were there, it was a beautiful day, and we finally have our $141 million Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center on its way. As many of you know, the mayor was there and all the elected officials, including Public Advocate Jumaane Williams. Of course, our council member, Farah Lewis, who was spearheading the whole project, And we had our state senator, Kevin Parker, and many community members. Just want to say that please, we're going to make sure that in our community advisory board, we want to make sure that people are aware of all the upcoming events. We have an upcoming event happening the 24th of October. It's called the Game Night. And basically it's an opportunity for the community members to learn more about the Recreation Center. It will be filled with interactive experiences that focus on new Recreation Center, state of the art, third floor space. So the third floor space will be where we're going to explore. And it will be with the help of facilitators and presenters and community experience. So again, please make sure you're here. This is to inform interior design decisions. So if you're interested in making your input in terms of interior design decisions, please come. This will happen at the Evangelical Crusade Christian Church, which is adjacent to where the center will be, which is on 557 East 31st Street, Brooklyn, New York. Okay. Next event that's happening is the shredding. We having a, actually, let me just say, again, Monique Chandler Waterman mentioned the reparations meeting that we're having. I'm also a co-host. It's happening this Friday, and it's to discuss the commission that's supposed to come out, and it's going to determine what kind of what will reparations mean. People are talking about descendants of slaves to New York State. People are talking about, will, you know, Black people get money? Will there be DNA testing, or will it be just services for the Black community and people who are descendant of the slaves? So lots of discussion that's happening over there. Mega Everett's this Friday at 6 p.m. The Shirley Chisholm, the shredding event, we're having a paper shredding event in Midwood. That's located on, it will be at PS 193, which is on Bedford and Avenue L. We'll be partnering with the Department of Sanitation. So if you have papers that you need to shred, please come. It's this Sunday, 11 to 2 p.m. I know many people are in church, but after church, if you could come by or before you go to church, that would be great. And lastly, I wanted to let you know that we are having our domestic violence program. October is Domestic Violence Awareness. We are having it at the Morris Height Health Center on October 26th, which is located at 1095 Flatbush Avenue. And it's from 6 to 9. We'll have speakers from Safe Horizon, as well as Brooklyn Family Justice Center, and a number of vendors. So I believe my staff is there. There should be flyers in the back. And I look forward to seeing you all. If you guys have any questions, I am here. Thank you. Again, this is Assembly Member Radis Bishart-Hermelin. Thank you so much, Chair Daly, for all that you do in the board.
Thank you, and thank you for the spearheading with the council member Lewis, the Shirley Chisholm. That was awesome, actually, for the community. Council member Lewis, followed by Chair Hill, Sanitation and DEP.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for the opportunity to provide some quick remarks and updates. I want to echo Assemblymember Chandler Waterman and Assemblymember Radis Bishart and thank everyone from the community who attended our groundbreaking on Monday for the Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center. I believe we have more information about it in the back, but I just want to thank the community for their full support. This has been a long, arduous process, but I'm very happy that we are at the finish line and we'll get a phenomenal project that the district really deserves. I want to give a quick update about the City of Yes. Mayor Adams proposed a City of Yes initiative that targets housing opportunities, text amendment, carbon neutrality, and economic opportunity. And it's an opportunity for New York City to modernize and update our city zoning regulations to support small businesses, to create affordable housing, and to promote sustainability. So you'll be hearing more about this at upcoming meetings and civic association meetings, but if you want anything in writing, we can email that over to your office. I do want to share that it's important for you to read this information because as you see things changing around the city and our community, I don't want you to think that information was not given to you. So if you would like more information, Sabrina is here from my office. She's right here in the front in the yellow. We can email any information over to you. A lot of those votes are done on a city level, but they will be coming before the board to come and have conversations with you all on the text amendment changes that they seek to do. So I just want to put it out there, just in case if you haven't heard about it. We are proposing a Utica Avenue bid. We already started the conversations with SBS and just want to inform you all that we want to support the small businesses that are along Utica Avenue. It's an opportunity for us to get funding from the city in order to support our small businesses. So you'll have more information in the near future about the outcome of the Utica Avenue bid. There would be a vote that would happen here in the community board at some point, but this is just the start of the process. And I wanted to quickly share, if the community was not aware, about Bethany Senior Terrace. It's our second affordable senior housing that I was able to support. It's going to be a four-story senior housing facility, completely affordable, containing 64 studio apartments and one-bedroom apartment. The scheduled time for completion will be 2025. If you need more information about the project, or if you would like to apply, feel free to reach out to Sabrina from our office so that you could get more information about that. Also want to share that in the city council, I am leading one of the bills on reparations for the city of New York, and Senator Sanders is leading a reparations bill through the state. So we will have more information, but I hope everybody can make it out to the workshop on Friday that he'll be hosting with his team. Later on in the program, if Sabrina could speak about all the events, I didn't want to go into each and every one of them, but also wanted to highlight anyone that is interested in participating with Lend-Lease, who is the lead on the Shirley Chisholm project for the contracts. If you could please come out on October 24th so that you could get more information. If you already applied for a contract and you are MWBE and you may have issues with Lend-Lease and lack of response, please do let us know so we can make sure that you get the information you need. And want to quickly highlight that general election is on November 7th. So everybody go out and vote. And last but not least, so there was supposed to be a co-naming for Busta Rhymes, a vote for tonight. That is not happening. I do see it on the agenda for tonight. So with that said, we decided to pull out. The speaker does not want to support a co-naming for someone who is not deceased. It is city law. However, what we did decide is, being that Busta Rhymes is still with us and very active, we will try to get him a key to the city of New York. So we'll be working with Mayor Eric Adams to get him a key to the city. So any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me or Sabrina from my office, and thank you for the opportunity.
Are there any questions for the council member? What is the time of, council member, the workshop on October 24th for the MWBE? What's the time on that? 5:30, and the location? Five, 557? Are we guessing? Or, no, do you know the cross streets though? On what street? Oh, right across the street from where the event. Okay, so it's the church that's literally across the street from where the Shirley Chisholm Rec Center is going to be, and that's at 5:30 on October 24th. All right, thank you. With that, Chair Hill. Moving very quickly, we're going to have the resolution of rezoning immediately following. No, I did agency report. I'm skipping so far ahead. I want to get that done. Agency report. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Hill, chairperson for the Sanitation and
Chair Hill,
Environmental
a little bit
Committee.
louder.
Sorry. This is Chair Hill, Michael Hill, for the Sanitation and Environmental Committee. We had our meeting Monday. We got a lot of information. I just want to thank everyone that participated in the meeting. It was a much larger turnout than the meeting we had last month. It was about triple the amount of people that came through this time and shared a lot of information. There's definitely a lot of issues that were raised, and I really want to point out to Ms. Hazel Martinez for supplying a lot of detailed information. She was kind enough to send an email to my email address with pictures and a lot of detailed information about the issues that she's seen and she's reported. She's given a lot of complaint information. If there's anyone out there that sees any issues regarding sanitation, it's been encouraged through Ms. Cunningham that a report to be made through 311 and to establish a complaint number so that Ms. Cunningham says that she would be able to escalate the issue. Unfortunately, since Monday's meeting, I have attempted to reach out to Ms. Cunningham, and unfortunately, when it comes to at least her mobile communication, she doesn't have a voicemail that is at the very least active or available for a voicemail to be left. I'm left, unfortunately, to speculate that perhaps Ms. Cunningham may not be the most effective person to contact regarding these issues. I've heard that she's been aware of several issues before I became chair of this committee, and there has not been a lot that has been achieved through this effort. A lot of people are definitely interested in having these issues resolved, and I definitely am not the kind of person that thinks doing the same thing over and over again is going to yield a different result. And I think between now and next month, something more may need to happen in order to effectuate any actual results. So I'm going to reach out to Ms. Cunningham in the near future and hopefully be able to contact her and deal with these issues. But if not, I think that there may be something more that's going to need to be done. And I explained what those actions might be during the last meeting. And I look forward to having everyone come out and support the initiative to make sure that these issues are finally resolved once and for all. And that's all I have to report. Any questions?
There is a, oh, go ahead.
Hi. So my question is there any chance that we could get sanitation here, being that we just launched the whole compost thing and people have so many questions about it, and a lot of people don't even have the compost cans. The deadline for that just passed on the 13th. What are the odds of getting them here to answer questions?
That is also an issue that was raised at Monday's meeting. And that was definitely something that I was looking forward to discussing with Ms. Cunningham. Unfortunately, that was just within the last 48 hours or so or less, since the meeting that I was able to try to establish that. And I was not successful in contacting her. But that is definitely something that I hope to achieve between now and next month's meeting.
Just as a reminder, there's Monique. What's Monique's last name? There's Monique also with sanitation that work together with Ms. Cunningham that can help that. You can just speak to Ms. Frazier and get that information as well.
Okay.
Contact, so you have multiple layers to address some of the issues.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council member, I forgot to ask you this question regarding the flooding. Is there any relief for people who might have been, who were affected by the flood? I think there was some online agency or something, I don't know. Is there something for that? Okay. All right, thank you. So, you guys can reach out if you're affected by the flooding, and then I guess I got a new email, which is my name, rodaly@cb.nyc.gov, so you can send that, or to Ms. Frazier. Okay? All right, let's move on. Agency report. So this is when the agency please line up very quickly so we can move on. Mr. McDonald, since everybody's walking up, you're online, you have first dibs. And the agency, please walk up. Agency,
Sure.
please walk up.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Kim West 17. Hope you're doing well. It's always good to see you, even if it's virtually. Just a couple of workshops that upcoming workshops that I would like to share with you that Neighborhood Housing Services is hosting, and also some partnerships. On November the 1st, we're having a housing discrimination webinar, what it looks like, what can you do about it, and this is covering housing discrimination, whether it's rental or whether it's first-time home buying. And I will post the information in the chat, but for those who are there in person, you can always go to our website at nhsbrooklyn.org, or you can call my office. It's 718-469-4679. On October the 24th, we are also having our regular home buying, first-time home buying workshop for everyone who wants to get in on the action or find out more about down payment assistance, what can they do, the rising interest rates, and so forth. That's going to be on October the 24th at 12 p.m. and finishes at 1:30. Once again, you can go to our website at nhsbrooklyn.org, and also call our office if you want to register. All right. As Ms. Fields mentioned earlier, we are working with the Housing Committee on a couple of events, workshops between the latter part of this year and also next year. So we also look forward for your support, and you can come out and benefit from these events. Once again, thank you very much. And for all those in the chat, I will post my information. Good evening.
Thank you.
Yes, hello. My name is John Huth from the East Flatbush branch of the Brooklyn Public Library. I just wanted to let you know about a couple of our programs, specifically our story time programs from 11 to 11:45 on Fridays and Saturdays, our embroidery class from 4 to 5 on Wednesdays, our arts and crafts from 4 to 5 on Wednesdays, and resume help from 2 to 4. Also be aware that you can book a room with us at bklynlibrary.org/rooms. Thank you to the community board and to everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yolanda Edwards. I'm the Assistant Branch Manager. My name is Yolanda Edwards. I'm the Assistant Branch Manager of the Rugby Branch. Just to let you guys know that the branch was closed for 3 weeks, but we are now reopened. We had plumbing issues and the problem has been rectified.
Keep the mic up.
Oh, okay. For the Banned Books Week, the first week of October was Banned Books Week. There was a 33% increase in bans last school year across the US. Because books for teens are most often the target of challenges, BPL Books on Ban initiative offers a national e-card to young people ages 13 to 21 to access BPL's entire digital collection. More than 7,000 teens have applied for their card from all 50 states, and they have checked out more than 156,000 books. If before 10/17, BPL is teaming up with PEN America to host the Freedom to Read Advocacy Institute on Thursdays from October the 19th to November the 9th, 2023, from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This online 4-week educational and training program for high school students will prepare and certify the next generation of free expression advocates. For Hispanic Heritage Month, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, BPL is hosting events across the borough that celebrate Latin culture and literature. Highlights include puppet making, bilingual concerts, and community cooking classes. For the last year, BPL has worked to translate more of our resources and provide more ESOL classes, particularly as we welcome more asylum seekers. Our Ready Set Kindergarten is back. Our special 6-session Ready Set Kindergarten series kicked off on October the 7th for children ages 3 to 6 and their caregivers. Each week at selected libraries and online, families will enjoy stories and activities designed to help you and your child get ready for school. Families will receive free materials to continue the learning and fun at home. Come to one or all 6 of these through the month, through November the 18th. We're having on November 9th, on Thursday, November 9th, from 12 until 4 p.m., DSNY will be at the Rugby Branch for a brown bin giveaway. So bring your photo ID and Eventbrite ticket to confirmation, and you'll be able to pick up your brown bin from the branch. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. And those flyers are in the back, I'm
The
assuming.
flyers are in the back.
All right. Next.
Good evening. My name is Carlene Yard, and I would like to invite you to our Health and Wellness Foundation first
Wait,
annual
hold on. Is that an agency or a community report?
a foundation
It's an agency, so government, city agencies.
only.
Yes, you're gonna get a chance.
Okay.
Not
okay.
yet.
Very well.
Any other city agency, just send there. I think you might be next, actually. Send there. I think you might be next. Yeah, you are. There are no other agencies online? Okay, see none.
Thank you. Okay, once again, my name is Carlene Yard, and I would like to invite you to our first annual gala. This is the Health and Wellness Foundation that is presenting this gala event. It is a catered buffet with live entertainment. This is also a very formal event. This is a fundraising event on the October 29th, 2023, from 4:30 to 10:30 p.m. This is in honor of our people who have survived lots of issues, from breast cancer all the way down to cancers. And we are celebrating them as a whole because they're still with us. This is going to be held at the Glen Terrace, 5313 Avenue End. There is in Brooklyn, and there's valet parking available. All those who are interested, we will have the flyer at the back. Okay, and you're welcome to come, including all of the council members. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. And again, the date is October 23rd.
October 29.
Okay, 29. Again, sorry, couple of things. 1, 2 minutes. 2, if you're going to speak, right, you need to come up to the mic so that, to save time.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for your time. I represent a local center called Heart to Heart Social Adult Services. So we're just coming out here to introduce ourselves to the community. We offer a lot of resources for seniors, for older adults. We help them get resources such as adult daycare, home care, if they don't know how to navigate. If they don't know how to navigate, like the Medicaid office, we help put them together, put them in touch with those resources. Especially after COVID, people have to get back out again. And, there's always whispers of resurgences and, little scares. So we like to, connect them with people in the community, help them get introduced to new individuals, services to help them stay active and stay out of the nursing homes and things along those lines. So if there's anyone here that, works with other agencies that, we're happy to speak with them, or members of the community. We put out some of our flyers in the front. Our business cards are there. We're always looking to get back to the community, and, that's what we're here for. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
And again, what's the name of the agency?
We're Heart to Heart Social Adult Services. I put these up in the front. I'm just gonna able to see it here.
Where are you located?
We're located in 209 Empire Boulevard, so not too far away from here, maybe 10 minutes away from here. And
Okay.
we're also, we have other locations, but we're here representing the Brooklyn branch.
Thank
So,
you.
Thank you for your time.
Are we in community session? I just want to be sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's,
All right. There are a lot of events that I'm talking about. Hello, everyone. I'm Allison Martinez, co-founder of Brooklyn Level Up, a community development corporation of working in this community. We are partnering with New York State Assemblywoman Monique Chandler Waterman this Saturday, October 21st at 905 Winthrop Street. We'll be talking about the Interborough Express project. We really need community to come out to see whether or not they are interested in joining a committee to work on what are the needs that we have, especially as this project comes online, and what we will be doing in the community, just to educate yourself. Then on Saturday, that's at 1 p.m. Then Saturday as well, from 12 to 5, you can go to Weeksville's 2023 Harvest Festival to celebrate Black land, food justice, and collective well-being. I really suggest that we start to go to these places of Black memory that are popping up in our community. Then also, Brooklyn Level Up is partnering with the Brooklyn Public Library Brooklyn Incubator to create what will actually be called East Flatbush Inc., a community business hub. We're going to have a focus group discussion about what businesses need in our community. What if you are a newbie who has just an idea, or you're have advanced business goals, what you would need in a business hub. That will be taking place on Wednesday, 10/24 from 6:30 to 7:30 at Rugby Library. We really need you to come out because it's important that we seed economic development in our community. Then Brooklyn Level Up is also part of the Flatbush African Burial Ground Coalition, which is hosting an event called 9 Nights. It's a series of events from October 20th through the 28th from 6 to 9 p.m., starting at the Flatbush African Burial Ground, which is at the corner of Church and Bedford. And then we have a processional from 7 o'clock to Flatbush Central. And there'll be a different hosted event every night, celebrating the enslaved Africans and Lenape people who were buried there. On the 6th night, Brooklyn Level Up will be hosting a collaging event that will help the community use art to figure out what design they would like for the park. Since the burial ground is now under the auspices of the Parks Department. Then, October 28th, from 2 to 4 p.m., we have an event called Heard at Home. This is a monthly series that is led by the East Flatbush Community Partnership in community with Community Board 17, Brooklyn Level Up, New York City Civic Engagement Commission, HCC, and also the Center for Law and Social Justice. This is an opportunity for people to come out, to hear from your elected officials, and to find out what's going on in the community. A lot of times we don't have access. We need to know. In addition, we are managing the People's Money Project for East Flatbush. And what this is idea sessions for what projects we want, not the capital side of the budget of PB, but the expense side. We will be hosting some upcoming idea sessions. The last round, a lot of you voted in, and what won was a project we created called WELLTH, W-E-L-L-T-H, which is voted on by our neighbors to basically have a year-round series of wellness events, workshops, and activities. So that will be coming up. If you are a voter, which everyone should be, we also want you to fill out and sign out these commitment cards. Voting is important because we don't have any of these programs or opportunities without it. So if you could sign these commitment cards for voting, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
thank you. Carlene? Oh, no, Deshaun, you were first and then.
Good evening, everyone. Do you hear me well? How you doing? My name is Deshaun, and I'm from Rising Ground, Human Services, Social Services Organization. We're known for foster care prevention. We're known for our mental health services around New York City. We're known for doing housing. So we have a plethora of services that we do throughout New York City. I'm here today because I'm proud to announce that we have 2 programs that we're going to be opening in the East Flatbush community this upcoming winter. And the 2 programs, one of them is a trauma recovery center. And the trauma recovery center will be providing free trauma therapy to individuals that experience any kind of traumatic experience, make it be gun violence, maybe a loss of life, unfortunately, just going through everyday stressors. So it's a great free program that's coming through Rising Ground. The location is going to be at Church Avenue on 54th Street. So we're still going through construction right now. So the program will be open soon. And the second program I would like to announce is our Family Enrichment Center. Family Enrichment Center, it's a program, a real new innovative program where it's actually spearheaded and led by the community itself. So all the services that comes out of the actual program will be the community itself where they dictate what services they want. For example, let's say tutoring for youth, let's say senior activities, let's say you want trades, recreation, OSHA training, things like that. It may even be stuff in terms of food, working with food pantry. So it's a number of services and it's endless in terms of the services that can come out the program. So I'm here today just to introduce you guys to the new programs coming. I would love to collaborate with anyone from the community and to get to know you guys. And just to see the needs of the community and see ways that we can collaborate and bring some of these services, these offerings to the community. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair, good evening, Board, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to announce
Your
that.
name.
Sorry?
Your name.
Oh, Carleen Murray Gordon. I just wanted to announce that the Community Concern Network, along with Byways and Hedges Youth for Christ, Reverend Terry Lee, along with Maimonides Medical Center, are hosting a health symposium this next Wednesday, October 25th, in an effort to promote health awareness and in recognition of Cancer Awareness Month. We also want to, recognize domestic violence awareness as well. So next Wednesday, October 25th at 6 p.m. at the Royal Terrace, 1300 Utica Avenue, here in Brooklyn, we will be hosting the health symposium with Maimonides Hospital. It will be good for everybody to see everyone there, all right? And of course, everyone, the board is welcome as well.
And there are
Is
flyers in the back.
invited.
The flyers in the back.
Sorry?
You have flyers in the back.
Yes, we do indeed.
Right.
All right,
Thank you. All right, roll call. I'm sorry, it's in the community session online. Where?
Does this extend to elected officials' office?
That's not community session, that's legislature. Any other? All right, quickly, roll call.
Okay, just a quick reminder, if you're not here in person and you're just online, you are absent per Borough Hall. So it's not me, it's Borough Hall. Kwame Afre. Brandon Alfonso. Brandon Alfonso. Tiffany Anderson. Berlot Antoine. Hassan Bakruddin. Barrington Barrett. Celia Berlin. Teresa Brereton. Louis Brown. Louis Brown. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly. Hermina Daniels. Kayla Drageen. Natasha Duncan. Natalie Ferguson. Natalie Ferguson. Lena Fenderson. Pearline Fields. Allison French Kenton. Charles Galbraith. Okay. Got it. Rose Graham. Gail Granderson. David Halan. Michael Hill. Julia James. Rhonda Joseph. Emerson Lazalari. Osni Lewis. Trisha Lewison. Brandon Matherine. Edith Mark. Daniel McCabe. Austin Nyla, or Najla. Austin Najla, I'm sorry for butchering your name. Naila, okay. Well, not here. Khadijah Aluo. Khadijah Aluo, not here. Okay. Montserrat Oni. Rodney Pepe Souvenir. June Prasad. Janice Reed. Aaron Roth. Menachem Shanowitz. Excused, okay. Antoinette Smart. Kamara Swaby or Kamara Swaby. Swaby. Did she say present? Okay. Simone Sylvester. George Tate. Tamara Thomas is present. Islat Tursun. Marguerite Viglianti. Jessica Welch. Kenrick Westcott. Kenrick Westcott. Thought I saw him, okay. Ivor Wood. I'm sorry, Ivor, apologies. Quorum. Did anyone not hear their name called who's a board member? Anyone? No? Okay.
With quorum duly met, we have 3 items to be voted on. 1, we start with the zoning for housing and preservation proposal. Chair James.
Hello?
My apologies. Can somebody close? If you're a board member, we are actually voting. So if you're a board member, please come inside so we can vote. And secondly, please close the door outside. Thank you.
Good evening. Tonight, the rezoning committee is presenting the framework for a proposal for zoning for housing, preservation, and equity. It was first presented at the last board meeting as well as the resolution. So hopefully you've had a chance to read the document. Okay. For over 17 years, CB 17 has been calling for housing, equity, and fairness. Why? Because all the other community boards were permitted to rezone except for 17. Well, good news, to a certain extent at least, I think. The City of Housing acknowledges, the mayor's City of Yes for Housing Opportunity acknowledges the fact that there has been less inequity. It's based on all the community boards doing this share. Community Board 17 has been bearing the brunt of development in the community. In addition to that, the borough president recently released his comprehensive plan for Brooklyn. Again, it centers around a vision for a healthier, more equitable borough where all the community boards are participating in dealing with the housing crisis. Okay. Because what has been happening here is a systematic disenfranchisement of Community Board 17 that is increasing the racial gap or racial wealth gap, displacing tenants and threatening existing affordable housing. So why do we need to address this issue? The issue is that there are areas, massive areas in our community where developers, as a matter of right, are able to construct without coming to the community board. And as a result of that, a lot of our homes are being destroyed. It impacts everybody, not just homeowners. Because of that, the tenants are experiencing escalating rents. There is displacement. because the current zoning does not call for affordable housing. The current zoning in District 17 does not call for any affordable housing. Between 2020 and 2022, the third highest, most expensive housing apartments were built in our community, although our area median income is less than the city's average. The borough president, in doing his analysis, showed where there's vulnerability to be displaced. And if you look, you can see 17 is high up there. We are facing displacement. You know, it used to be a time we could run to the south. I can assure you, Atlanta and the other south is getting so expensive, it's really not an option anymore. Why is there a need for rezoning? Because every house that is demolished is a permanent loss
I'm
and
sorry.
transfer
Hold
of
on.
wealth. I mean, you said the time.
No, wait, hold on. I need you to present the resolution that you are asking the members to vote on, and then you can move
Okay.
the resolution.
The resolution, which was presented last year, in September, is to accept the zoning proposal that has been presented to rezone District 17 to provide for more housing while at the same time preserving the homes in the district.
Okay.
What we're asking for right now
But
as well
That's the.
is for, be further resolved, that's the rest for the resolution.
Okay.
Be it further resolved that we engage in community outreach to let the community know what we are proposing before it's presented to DCP.
All right, Chair, I'm looking to see if you have it up. So that's it, right? That's the resolution?
One second.
I'm just gonna say that the resolution,
Start it again.
We're at current slide? Okay. Okay, great.
tell me when you,
So, okay. Mr. Ofredo, okay, okay. Research has shown that
No,
many
I'm trying to
people
get,
in our
wait, hold on.
community, yes.
I'm trying to get to the point where it's official. I need first for you to present the resolution, and then after the resolution, then you can try to move the resolution. So I'm saying to present the resolution first that they're voting on.
The resolution was presented, was adopted, it was voted on by the committee.
That's what I'm saying, just present
Yeah.
it to the general board.
Yes.
That's all I'm asking, just to read the resolution.
You want me to read the entire resolution?
Just the resolution. That's the part that they need to vote on. And
Okay.
then,
The vote tonight will be to accept the zoning proposal, which was presented to the board members back in September, as well as submitted by email currently.
all right, so there's a resolution on the floor about the zoning proposal that was sent out for every board member to read, right? So it was sent out multiple times. I believe it was at least 2 times.
Correct.
Okay, it does not need to be second because it is a resolution coming out of committee. At this moment, is there anyone wanting to speak in favor of the resolution? So if you want to move it, you can go ahead and move it.
Ah, good, okay. So the existing, if you look here, you can see the existing situation when the entire New York City, we were 5th on the list in terms of development. Sorry, in Brooklyn. Look, and if you look at it, you can see 17 on top. I just wanted to draw your attention to Community Board 18. If you look at the very bottom, there was 0 development in Community Board 18. I just want to give you the contrast. Because Community Board 18 had rezoned, look at it at the bottom, there was 0 development. They were able to maintain their homes, right? But because we did not rezone, we were right on top, number 5. And look at the loss and the demolition that has occurred in this district. Okay. Again, you can see 17 on the top here. You can see 18 in the white spot here. That is a difference. That's what rezoning means. in terms of the home demolitions, okay? Just some pictures of what's going on here in the district. Okay, so we are facing a financial crisis right now because of the demolition of the homes. If you look at the existing zoning, you can see the R6 areas. And these are the R6 areas where there is no requirement for affordable housing. So a developer can come in and put in a luxury house, apartment there, and that's what's causing the problem. When they demolish those homes, you're losing the housing stock. Okay, what is being proposed here is, if you look at, to the extreme left, you see an R5 and an R5B to the extreme right as well. And that is to determine the type of housing, 1 or 2 families as well. Then you can see the main roads. What we are proposing is on the main streets, for example, New York Avenue, Church Avenue, East 98th Street, a portion of Church, just the lower portion, a portion of Utica Avenue to the very top. We are asking the city to rezone, upzone those areas, so most of the development can take place there, so we can preserve the rest of our district. So this just basically gives you an idea of the various types of affordable housing that we're looking to develop. This meets the transit-oriented development because, for example, East New York is less than half a mile away from the train station. The city of Yes, this mayor has also proposed a city of Yes economic opportunity. And what we're asking for is that Nostrand Avenue be preserved for small businesses. We have, for example, a large Haitian immigrant population who tend to use Nostrand Avenue as a shopping area. We also want to preserve that as well. So the point we're just trying to make is that our community is under siege. And if we don't do something to stop it, then we will not survive. So this is not an anti-development proposal. It's about ensuring equity and fairness. It's about ensuring that Black and brown families who desire to be homeowners here have the same rights and privileges as other families in other affluent neighborhoods. This is about anti-displacement and to ensure that we are able to stay here and thrive in this community. If we don't do anything, if we do not do anything, what is happening will continue to happen. And one day you'll wake up and this East Flatbush that we know now will not exist because it will be so changed by the development that displaces us. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone, thank you for that presentation. Actually, it was very well done. Is there any opposition to the resolution? There's an opposite or amendment? Which, come to the mic. Come to the mic, come to the mic. State your name and state what it is that you rise.
Hi, Marguerite Villante. So I'm not opposing.
I rise in support or I rise to amend?
I rise to amend it.
Okay,
Okay, the way it stands now, I don't think it's enough. I think we need to.
so what is
change
the amendment
map.
that you're proposing?
Well, it's a whole bunch of different things within the map,
So
within the rezoning map. So
within
it's
the map?
within the new map that's in the rezoning resolution, there's a map with the rezoning sections.
Hold on 1 second, please. Let me just pull up the resolution.
It was just up, the map.
No, this is the resolution right here. Whereas,
I know, but as part of that, there's a map connected to it.
no, I understand. What I'm saying to you is that you have to amend the resolution, not the map.
Okay.
So whatever the wording is,
Amend the resolution.
then.
I want to amend the map,
No,
which is connected to the.
no, you either going to amend the resolution, speak against the resolution, or speak in favor of the resolution.
Okay, well, then I would have to speak against the resolution.
Okay,
Because the map is not what I'm comfortable with. I
okay.
don't know any other way to.
So okay, got you. So you're speaking opposition to the resolution. And
Based
then
on
state
the-
your opposition?
Based on the map,
This one?
yes, that's what goes with the new.
Okay,
with the
where are we on the map?
Huh?
Where?
There's a few throughout the map.
Okay, so, okay, go ahead.
So it's very detailed and it's pretty granular about what I would like to see different. So I don't know if that's something we can do here.
So you have the right to speak against. You could give a new resolution if you want, right? But now you become a motion, right? Because it's not out of committee. So you decide what you want to do. Or just speak against it, period.
Zoning, I'm just against that, the way the map is structured.
But what I'm saying, what
I
I'm
don't-
trying to explain to you, what I'm trying to explain to you is you're either, there are only three things you can do.
Okay,
One, speak in favor of the resolution.
Yeah.
Two, amend the resolution. Or three, speak against the resolution. Those are the only three things you can do, nothing else.
okay, I'm speaking against the
Then you
resolution.
state your opposition, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay?
My opposition is the way the map is set up. The way, my opposition is the zoning on the map. I think it needs to be zoned differently for more. I think it needs to be zoned differently. I'm not against a resolution per se. I'm against it because of the map. So I don't know any other way to explain it except to go into detail with certain areas. I think we're giving up too much the way this is set up. In detail being, say, in the low-density areas, we're up zoning to R4B, and we shouldn't be up zoning there. It should stay R4 or R4A1 or R4A. It's pretty complicated, so if you don't understand zoning, it's hard for me to explain it because I don't really understand it that well, except we're up zoning too much of this. There's too much up zoning on this map. That's all I can say in a general way. So that's it.
So I guess I'm not supposed to do this, but to summarize, you stand in opposition because you feel that the current proposal resolution gives away too much, and as such, you stand in opposition of the resolution.
That's it.
That's,
Yes.
okay. I'm rewording you, but that's basically what you're saying, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so we have one person who spoke in favor of the resolution. We have one person who spoke against the resolution. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of the resolution or in opposition to the resolution?
So I'd like to, Tamara Thomas, member of the board, and I would like to speak in favor of the resolution. The fact of the matter is that because we don't have zoning protection, we have very little play that we can play with. I think at this point, we can negotiate things, this for that, but I don't know that we can like truly stand in opposition because once the city has made a decision to do something, I found that it doesn't really matter what the community thinks, they just want to do it. So if we can get to a place where we can say, okay, well, instead of wholesale redesigning our community, how about we offer you these areas in exchange for other areas? I think that's something to explore.
Mr. Daly?
I stand in favor of the resolution. The committee has spent a number of months and have done a number of research on rezoning. And the city themselves has stated that we have to give something. And the problem is, though we don't want to give anything, we have not been done any rezoning since, I believe, 1961. And so the effort made on the proposal will give us an opportunity to keep some semblance of our culture, of our heritage, of our community look. No, it's not perfect, but at this point, after 60-something years, this is more than important for our community. So I rise in support of the resolution.
Dr. Galbraith?
Good evening. I don't have, I asked for a clarifying question, and so I apologize if I out of order with this, but is there a possible way for us to understand and know what it means in regards to the R41 versus the R4B? Is there an opportunity?
This is not the final. This is a proposal which is going to be circulated in the community. On the website, anyone can go to the website and can see what R4 means, what yeah, sorry. So all of it is on the website so you'll be able to determine what's an R5B, whatever. But to give you a sense, where this was an R5, here was an R6. And the developer had the right, just to give you some basic, had the right to, as a matter of right, since 1970, a developer has not had to come to the community board to ask permission to do any type of development involving apartment buildings. So here is all the R5s are being downzoned from an R6.
I get that, and I am in support of the redistricting and the rezoning. I believe this is needed for our neighborhood. I'm just a corner preacher. And so just as a little corner preacher, I just need to understand, you guys have much more experience and direction. I just need to understand what it means. And so I'm not in an opposition. I think some other folks would also just like further clarification to say what those specifically mean. When you say that, I think I understand as of right, but for each one of that, it can go this high, it can go that high. That could be helpful for us. Thank you.
If you look at the pink areas, this will permit a developer to go as high as 7, 8, 9, 13 stories. If you drive down New York Avenue is gone already. The high rises which are there, they're already gone. In the area on East 98th Street, there's a major project which is going to be passed. That's like a 13-story. It's going to happen whether we vote or not on it. So the idea is to capitalize on this. Then the other areas is our 7 pink here. Here again, there's this huge 13-story. Jessica, how high is this building? 20 floors. So that area is gone already. So what we have done in areas of the district, which we are losing if we haven't lost, just to upzone them to get an additional housing units as much as approximately 4,000. But the rest of the area, the side streets, that is what we're looking to downzone. So right over here, if you look over here, the R5B, that was an R6. That is being downzoned. The issue which was raised earlier was between the R4s and 4B. Most of the district is an R4B, meaning they're row houses, right? So the objection was, well, to have single-family homes, but most of our homes are not single-family homes. And we couldn't really parse it to say, well, one block is single-family homes, one block is row homes. So that was what it is. It's just an R4B. But we're only upzoning the major streets. Everything else is being downzoned.
All right. We have spoken in favor, we've spoken against, all right? At this point, there's a time limit, right? There's about 15 minutes. Are you speaking in opposition? Because we had 2 in favor, 3 in favor, and 1 in opposition. Are you speaking in opposition too?
No, I wanted to clarify the question. Very short, 30 seconds.
Clarify?
Yes.
So point of information.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, both for the people in the room and the people online, would it be effective to say that the number in these zonings is similarly correlated to the number of floors of building, the average number for a building? So is it that R4 average around a 4-story building, R7, we're seeing taller buildings? I think we just need that context for those of us who don't work in development.
Yeah, I was running through this very quickly, so I didn't, this is what an R4 would look like. Does that help?
Can you show an R4B also to see the difference?
I don't, okay, right? So you're on an R4, you're not gonna have 5, 7 stories.
Things are
You're
staying
not.
about the same, staying with smaller buildings.
Yes.
When we see
1 or 2
numbers like
times.
6, 7, to be clear, again, for everyone online and et cetera, you will have plenty of opportunity to read into this. We'll have definitions, glossaries online. We will have community meetings, but just a general sense, when you see something with 4, we're trying to keep buildings as small as they are now, keep our community similar, and the areas where we're 6, 7, 8 in those numbers, those are the areas where we're telling the city, you can bring high rises in because you've already done that to some extent, and we know we need more housing.
Perfect,
I-
thank you.
Thank you.
This would be what an R5B, I'm just gonna show the two other slides, what R5B would look like, right? This is R5B, this is an R6, and this is what an R7 would be and higher, it could be as high, 7 to 9-story building.
Thank you. No, unless you're speaking, unless somebody's getting up to speak in opposition to the resolution, right? Or amend the resolution. There's only two options right now,
I just wanted
No,
to
wait.
help people clarify something, that's all.
right? So you have a point of, is it a question or point of information?
It's a point of information.
Go ahead.
Okay. The difference is that there's high-density areas and low-density areas. So, and the difference between an A and a B in any of the areas is that the B is more closely built. So the developer can just build without any spaces between the building. An A is that there has to be a certain amount of space around the building. So that's what I'm against, is anything B. If it's going from.
Wait,
If it's
you-
going.
wait, hold on.
What?
You can't do both,
Okay,
right?
sorry.
Remember,
I'm-
I did give
So,
the
I'm
information.
just giving you a point of information. So if it's going from a higher number, say it's R6A down to R5B, that's good. But if it's going from an R5A to an R5B, that's not good. If you want to preserve housing and the existing
Again,
housing stock.
you're speaking in opposition again. You're not
No,
clarifying.
I'm.
No,
okay.
clarifying
I'm saying
means-
if,
Okay, wait. Clarifying is what you did first,
yeah.
which is A's more space,
Okay.
B's less space. Now you debated.
No, I said if.
All right.
I didn't say no.
Would that be, that,
There's gonna be, oh, you wanted to speak?
no, wait.
This is presented to the community for discussion. So if anybody has any recommendations, you can go online and express it. It cannot be one person's viewpoint. If 50 people say that they don't want R4B, then that will happen. It cannot be, the rezoning committee considered the issue and voted and accepted this. Did everyone on the committee agree? No, but that's what they proposed.
Yes, because I'm
There's
on the rezoning
one-
committee.
One other issue is on R4A, and I read it again this afternoon, it's only for detached housing.
Use the mic, Chair James.
R4A, which the proponent is trying to put forward, is for detached houses. We have very limited areas in the community which are detached houses. Now, can the recommendation be that the consultant, if we have the money, goes through and identifies every block which have detached houses and put R4A? If we have the money, we can do it. We didn't have the funds to do this. So we have an R4B, but any recommendations can be posted online on the website.
All right, so I'm going to call the question, Mr. Hill. Sorry. All right, I'm going to call the question. At this point, right, we're ready for a vote on the resolution, right? The resolution came out of committee and was voted on and agreed upon by the committee, correct? So we are voting on, so if you vote yes, that means you agree with the committee. All right, so Madam Secretary. The resolution which was presented to the group is very long, right? So I just read the resolves. Be it resolved that to address the city's housing crisis and the inherent problems stemming from developers as of right under the current R6 zoning, that CB 17 submit a rezoning proposal to the Department of City Planning, DCP, to amend CB 17 zoning text and zoning map to facilitate the creation of an additional 3,645 housing units, which exceeds the threshold advocated by New York, NYC, and New York State for community boards.
Can you read the further proposal, the further, be it further resolved?
This is only resolve I see.
Be it further resolved, Be it further resolved that Community Board 17 accept the framework for zoning and housing preservation proposal, and as the next step, engage in community outreach to inform community residents of the proposal and to obtain their feedback.
Okay. All right. So now, again, it came out of committee. All you need to do is, when she calls your name, yes or no. Yeah, oh, no, yes or no? Not abstain, yes or no?
Kwame Afre. Tiffany Anderson. Antoine, Berlada Antoine. Hassan Bakrdine. Oh, okay. Celia Berlin. Teresa Brereton. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly. Hermina Daniels. Am I pronouncing your name right? Is it Hermina or Herminia? I'm sorry, the Herminia. Okay, I'm gonna put that. It's not there. I apologize. Okay. Kayla Drageen. Kayla Drageen. Okay, she's gone. Natasha Duncan.
There's two more kids to vote on.
Pearline Fields. Allison French Kenton. Allison? Charles Galbraith.
Yes.
Rose Graham. Gail Grandison. Michael Hill. Julia James. Osley Lewis. Brandon is not here, right? Brandon Matherine. Oh, sorry, Brandon Matherine. Edith Mark. Dan McCabe. Austin Nyla. Oni Montserrat Oni. Rodney Pepe Souvenir. June Prasad. Janice Reed. Aaron Roth. Antoinette Smart. Aaron Roth. George Tate. Tamara Thomas, yes. Islat Tursun. Marguerite. You are allowed to abstain, but it'll count towards the yeses. Yes, it does. The vote counts towards the majority.
Keep going.
Jessica Welch. Kenrick Westcott. Kenrick left, okay. And Ivor. I'm sorry, Ivor. Okay, the yeses have it. Sorry, what's your name?
What's your vote, Tricia?
Oh, I'm sorry, Tricia Lewison.
McCabe, followed by Chair Prasad.
I see. Sorry. Good evening again. This is concerning the annual submission of the Community Board 17's the Community Needs and Budget Report. The due date is upon us, and we need to get the report together to submit to the city so they have all the needs and priorities of all the different committees for the community. So I have a motion to make in order to help facilitate getting this done. And I have a couple of whereases just for some context. So one, whereas the upcoming deadline set by the City of New York for the submission of Community Board 17's community needs and the board's annual budget is due on 10/31/2023. And due to the recent appointment of a new budget chair, that's me, and I require some time needed to onboard and get access to various documents and portals to submit this. And three, that the next general meeting is scheduled after the deadline for the aforementioned documents to be submitted. I'm making a motion as follows. It's two parts. One, for all committee chairs to submit their narratives of community needs and priorities of their respective committees no later than the end of business Friday, October 20th. And okay, this is the motion. And then two, for the community budget to be submitted without formal community board approval to the City of New York in order to have this submitted on time.
Okay,
That's the motion.
it's a motion on the floor. It needs to be second. Okay, the motion has been duly made and second. Is there any debate? Okay, see no debate. I said to call the question. The question has been called. Mr. Don't leave. Mr. McCabe, Chair, you got to sit there until it's over. All right, the secretary will call the roll call.
Kwame Afre. Okay, I went to the rest. I'll circle back. Okay, Tiffany Anderson. Berlot Antoine. Berlot. Celia Berlin. Teresa Brereton. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly. Herminia Daniels. Yes or no? Natasha Duncan? Natasha, okay, all right. Perlene Fields? Charles Galbraith?
Yes.
Rose Graham? Gail Grandison? Michael Hill?
Yes or no? Yes.
Julia James?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, was that a yes? Chair James? Okay. Osney Lewis? Tricia Lewison? Brandon Matherin? Edith Mark? Daniel McCabe?
Yes.
Montserrat Oni? Rodney Pepe Souvenir? June Prasad? Yes. Janice Reed? George Tate? Tamara Thomas, yes. Heslat Tursun? And Marguerite Viglianti? I didn't get there yet. Jessica Welch? Kenrick Westcott, oops, sorry, he's not here. And Ivor Wood. The yeses have it.
Thank you. Commerce?
Good evening, everyone. Once again, we have one liquor license. No, just stand right here, miss. We have one liquor license application to process tonight. This is a renewal. It's Bella Cafe LLC located at 284 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. This is a wine, beer, and cider applicant. They've been in business for like going on 3 years. The police report is as follows: no incident at this location. I will not entertain any questions since it's so late and it's a renewal. Madam Secretary, can you please take a vote? This woman was patiently waiting all night.
And thank you for waiting, seriously.
Thank you.
Kwame Afre.
Oh, the committee voted to approve this applicant. Sorry, my apologies.
Okay. Tiffany Anderson? Tiffany? She left, right? Berlard Antoine? Celia Boleyn? Teresa Brereton? Asher Cunningham? Roderick Daly? Herminia Daniels? Herminia? Did she leave? Pearline Fields? Charles Galbraith? Rose Graham? Gail Grandison? Michael Hill? When I come back around. Julia James? Osley Lewis? Or did he? Okay, I'll come back to him. Trisha Lewison? Brandon Matherin? Edith Mark? Daniel McCabe? Montserrat O'Neill? Rodney, by any chance, did you come back? Okay, she's gone. June Prasad? Janice Reed? George Tate? Tamara Thomas, yes. Heslat Tursun? Heslat? Okay, she's gone. Margaret Viglianti? Jessica Welch? Sorry? And Ivor Wood. Okay, I'm going to go back around because a couple of people, you wanted to change your vote. Yes, Herminia, did you? Yeah, okay, your vote is yes, and Asher would like to change his vote to. Okay, yes, I have it.
Thank you. A letter of recommendation will be sent to the
Have I
state.
called everyone's name? If I haven't called your name? Did you hear your name? Okay, so then that was.
Yes. All right, thank you. Once we have tallied the vote, you'll get, so far it looks like it's a positive on all three resolutions. We'll get the numbers in a minute. Let's move on very quickly. Legislative session. Portia, you've been patiently waiting and you never get to speak when you're online. Go ahead. Okay, yeah, turn the mic on, please. Here. It is.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Portia Edwards. I'm the District Director for State Senator Zelma Murray. It is great to be here. Great to see you all. Just a quick announcements. On November 18th, we'll be having our Harvest Fest in front of our office like we do every year. Healthier for the holidays is the theme as usual. We'll be teaching people how to eat healthier during the holidays this year, also giving away turkeys. First come, first serve. It is what it is. We're doing an older adult resource fair on December 7th at Lennox Road Baptist Church. We will have various city agencies and state agencies there to help out with any concerns that younger adults, older adults may have in the upcoming session. That's going to be from 11 to 3, flyer to come. You guys will get the flyer as soon as it's created. We also have CUF in our office every Wednesday, Churches United for Fair Housing, helping out our population with filling out applications for Housing Connect. The most success that we are seeing is with our senior population. So if you know someone who is looking and would like to apply for housing through Housing Connect, please come to our office every Wednesday from 11 to 5. That's it. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you. Giovanni? Ms.
Good evening,
Pagans?
everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Giovanni P. Quant, Deputy Chief of Staff for Councilmember Rita Joseph. I was in person earlier, and we have a lot of events and services that our office is providing on the table as we head out. Feel free to take one. We have CUF at our office on Thursdays. We also have SNAP enrollment at Metro Plus on Church Avenue and Flatbush. If you know anyone who's interested, we have folks who can service people in Spanish, also Haitian Creole, and also English as well. In terms of legislation, Councilmember Joseph recently passed a bill focused on foster youth, ensuring that the city does adequate reporting to ensure that they can get the proper services. Councilmember Joseph also passed another bill in regards to bathrooms across New York City, calling on the city to have a comprehensive plan in regards to access to bathrooms, making sure they're updated, and the city will be creating a website where folks can see accessible public restrooms and their maintenance. As we know, it's been raining a lot, so the districts in certain areas has folks and homeowners and those who live in buildings as well have been seeing an increase of flooding. So if you made any 311 complaints or you would need DEP to come out to see where your house or apartment and whatnot, feel free to reach out to our office and we will escalate those concerns. And if also you're a business that may need assistance following the rain damages from SBS, the New York City Agency of Small Business Services, also reach out to our office and SBS can assist, or the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce as well. Councilmember Joseph, in terms of budget highlights, has invested a lot of millions of dollars across schools in our districts, upgrading STEM labs, kitchens, school playgrounds, and whatnot. In terms of our green space area, she has given Prospect Park a lot of funds for ADA compliance, street planting across District 40 to promote green space, and also she will also be redoing Wingate Park all over again. And lastly, in regards to asylum seekers, we know that the mayor's new policy in terms of 60-day shelter rule will now be in place, and we are aware that many students and families and New Yorkers will be displaced. So if you need any assistance, or if you know any asylum seekers that may come to you, feel free to reach out to our office. We work with many non-for-profit organizations who do mutual aid and who also assist if they also need help in enrolling in schools as well. Always feel free to reach out to our office. As I mentioned before, the flyers are in the back when you head out, so you'll know how to email us or reach out should you have any questions or concerns. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Alex, and then you're right. So Alex, are you still there? If Alex doesn't go, snooze, you lose.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Raul Rothblatt. I'm the District Director for Assemblymember Brian Cunningham, representing the 43rd Assembly District. Very glad to be here. First of all, of our event coming up, we have a Halloween event coming up with our great partner, Awesome Brooklyn, which is doing wonderful work promoting business on the Flatbush portion over there. One thing that came to our office a couple times that I haven't heard people talk about too much over here is there's a bunch of EBT fraud. A lot of people's cards have been skimmed. So beware that if you or you know somebody who has an EBT card, make sure they're using swiping it in a machine that's legit, and make sure to check the balance and change your password if you notice anything funny. We'd be glad to help out. We've helped some people who've had this problem. Feel free to come into our office. The Assembly member has been cranking out tons of legislation. You look on the Assembly website, it's well over 100 pieces of legislation that he's proposed. Some that have been passed recently. There's a bunch of things that I think that the CB17 would, I think would be great. There's a Caribbean Steel Pan education program, access to resources for diverse arts, bills to talk about, make sure e-bikes are better regulated and are following rules and get licensing at some point, maternal health. For those who don't know, the Assembly members is expecting. So if we're busy getting everything ready in the office, if you want to meet with him, this is probably a good time. He's going to be a little busy by the time next month rolls around. So very excited this is happening. And of course, the kicker is the Kingsborough project. We've had 3 town hall discussions so far. We're hoping to have more. We're working on making that happen. There have been some things on the Empire State Development website, so check it out. There were some few things changed up this week, and I think maybe even tomorrow they're going to be releasing some new documents. So please stay in touch with that. We do want to keep getting input from everyone, so please stay in touch. Our office number is 718-771-3105, 718-771-3105. Thank you very much.
All right, is there any elected official office that I missed, who the elected official didn't speak yet? Okay, perfect. All right, just a special announcement, board members, I just want to remind everyone, hopefully I see everybody on next week, Saturday, the 28th. Right, from 2 to 4, right at the corner of Church Avenue and East 38th Street, right? I'm one of the speakers to speak on civic engagement, along with Barbara Williams and Isaiah Franco. This was postponed from last month because of weather, and now we're going to have it this month. Also looking forward to seeing all of you at June Prasad's event on, when is it, November 19th? November 18th. All right. With that being said, are there any other reports, board members?
Yes. Can you hear me, Chair?
Yes,
Hello?
who's speaking? I can hear you. Who's speaking?
Oh, thank you. This is Helen Foreman Hines on behalf of Councilmember Darlene Neely. I want to say good evening to all, and I hope all is well. And if I can just have 3 announcements, I would greatly appreciate it.
Go ahead.
In regard to the council member's office, is located on 400 Rockaway Avenue, and we're there from 9 to 5. Plus, with any additional calls, say folks are coming in and would like to come after 5, I'm there to receive them. What's happening in the office with the updates? We are having tomorrow, we will be on Utica and Eastern Parkway at the subways for an event. We want to make sure that folks know that this is Domestic Violence Month and want you to pay attention and get involved and say something if you or hear something. The additional information that I would like to share, scrolling down, give me a hot second. It's on Tuesday, October the 24th. It's a domestic violence awareness event at Weeksville Heritage Center, 158 Buffalo Avenue, 6 to 8:30. On Saturday, October the 28th, is our Community Advisory Board meeting at 400 Rockaway Avenue. The hours are 11 to 12:30, correction. Tomorrow, the event that I raised is the Go Purple tomorrow, Eastern Parkway in Utica from 8 to 9. I want to say blessings to all and thanks for having me. And I hope all is well and continue. Constituent service is offered in the office every day. You can call or you can walk in. The number is 718-953-3097. Blessings to all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Unfinished business, Shirley Chisholm Center, employment, job opportunities, contractor opportunities. On Monday, after the ribbon cutting, I got to speak to several people in terms of McKissick, as well as Lend-Lease, the vice president for Lend-Lease, who is the VP for that project. And I told them that they need to have a tangible way of showing the community that they really invested in the community. The project is $141 million. A proposal was sent to them for about 12,000 in terms of training for the SST. That's the bare minimum necessary site safety training to be eligible for those projects. If you don't have that, you can't get access to the project. So I want everybody to, be aware of that. I think October 24th at the church right across from the project is important for folks to be there to speak about it. They talk about MBEs and $6 billion and all of that. What they don't tell you is that the MBEs that are not qualified or the people that do not have the resources or the bonding or the financial capabilities, they are looked or pushed aside. That discussion is not being had. They throw out these big numbers and all this MBE talk, but the MBE certification itself does not have a value. The only value you have is the network of people around you who are giving you work and providing the necessary ability or the skills that you could display to show those contractors what you could do. So this is something that is a misnomer. MBE does not have a monetary value to it, or it is not even worth what the value on the piece of paper. I am an MBE and I could tell you that. So I want us to understand that there's this misnomer, oh, you're MBE, you're making money. No, you're just exposed. That's all it is. Basically a target on your back because they look at you differently with that certification. So I want us to be aware of that.
Thank you. You have an announcement? It's out of order, but no. Quickly.
Just a few concerns.
Tell us who you are first, though.
My name is Michelle Rock. I'm a resident in the, can you hear me?
No.
Hello, good night. My name is Michelle Rock, and I just have a few concerns. I want to ask the committee if they have a legal board because I have some concerns directly in my neighborhood. Right now, there are a lot of abandoned commercial properties that are dilapidated and they're not being properly maintained. There's no street lighting, and so criminal activity has increased. I brought some pictures, for instance, at 750.
I'm going to step you right in the middle.
You got,
See the guy that just spoke?
yes,
This one right here?
yes.
You're going to have a conversation with him. He's the chair of public safety and transportation, which is what you're talking about.
Okay.
In terms of the legal question, no, we don't have a,
You don't have a legal.
no, we don't.
Okay.
But we have agencies that can deal with it.
Okay.
Okay?
Then another.
And Ms. Felix is not here. Okay? Go
Sorry,
ahead.
just another concern. The parking congestion with the car share programs and the city bikes that are coming up everywhere. There are actual agencies. They're parking the post offices, their trucks, they're parking in our city parking spots and taking up our parking spaces. So I don't know if we can talk about that. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, so Mr. Lewis, please make sure that you exchange information with Ms. Michelle. Okay. And no. There's what she's never, I'll explain to you at the end because I have to adjourn the meeting. Are there any other comments from special report board members? Unfinished business, old business, new business. Can I get a motion to adjourn? June Prasad, can I get a second? Gail Grandison, seconds. All in favor? All opposed? Sharif, you cannot vote. Hope to see everybody next week Saturday.